So I've recently bought this Mk3 Focus. It's a 2014, so it's one of the last ones before the facelift. And the early 2014 and previous 1 litre EcoBoosts were evidently prone to overheating and losing all their coolant and seizing the engine. So there was a recall where this degas pipe from the expansion tank to the turbo would break or crack, because I believe it was a solid pipe before, and because it's sitting over the turbo, it gets very hot and it would break. All the coolant would dump out really quick and would just seize up the engine. This sort of happened from 60,000 miles onwards. So I was researching this a little bit. My car's I bought this at 43,000 miles, and so I wanted to make sure this was safe. So I believe it's had the recall done. So I think this hose, which is rubber, is the one that was recalled and it was replaced. But evidently they're still prone on this junction here to break, to split, and either just leak, or if they break completely, it will again dump the coolant and seize the engine up, which we don't want. So post 2014 there was a facelift Mk3 Focus, and in that they had a revised degas pipe setup. So instead of having the junction here, they sort of rerouted some new cables. So they used the same parts, just different configuration, and of the two cables coming out of the expansion tank. So instead of this one here, you get these two pipes. So you get this one, which has the joint is much more solid and it sits up by the tank away from the heat source. And so the sort of part of the pipe that goes over around the turbo, as you can see, are both really robust rubber pipes with no joints. And then the one that goes to the engine is this kind of plastic pipe. So the plastic pipe goes from the engine down there into the water tank here. As you can see, this port at the moment is used for the turbo. So then the turbo is then fed by this larger one, which feeds from the bottom there. So it's a bit of swapping stuff around, but then you end up with a more robust pipe that shouldn't be prone to dumping the coolant out, which would be bad. So I'm going to give this a go and hopefully not have to remove too much. I'm going to have a go. I've looked at other stuff on YouTube and Google, and they say you probably need to remove the turbo pipes, but I'm going to try and do it without doing that. But I'll video it and see how we get on. I purchased the two pipes from the Ford store on eBay. The thicker one is 122.838, and the thinner one, which is the plastic pipe, is 1855418. And they did take quite a few days to arrive, so don't be thinking they're going to arrive tomorrow. The clips on the bigger pipes, you squeeze this part down, and when this clip gets below that catch, it'll snap shut and squeeze the pipe. And the opposite on the one that's there, you squeeze them together so this little tooth fits behind this, and then that's locked open. The coolant, I just got the regular pre-made coolant from Halfords. The car takes 5.8 litres. I've got the bottle from Halfords is 5 litres, annoyingly. But hopefully I'm not going to lose all the coolant, otherwise I'm going to have to make another trip to Halfords. So I'm going to try and get as much in place as I can and then quickly swap them over. Obviously I can swap these top ones out without losing any or much coolant, hopefully. And yeah, try to be a bit clever, but it's probably going to fail. We'll see. I've got quite a bit of coolant in there, and so I'm just going to siphon it out into a bottle just in case I need it, because I've only got 5 litres and it takes nearly 6. So and it also stops it leaking all over the inside of the car. So I've just taken the cap off and just going to siphon it with a bit of hose. Hopefully that goes well. Let's try again. Well, after a quick trip to the sink to wash my mouth out, got captured quite a bit of the coolant. There's still a little bit left in there, but you know, it's better than having a full tank. I'm just going to take off these pipes and just put some towel down to capture that last bit of coolant in there, and this one needs to come off, and then I'll start looking at the other end. Right, so now we should just be able to pry that off with a big screwdriver and try and grab as much of that liquid as possible. So I'm going to start with, I'm just going to replace this one first. So this one at the moment goes into the top of the turbo, but it's being replaced with the hard plastic one I showed you earlier. So I'm going to route this correctly, and it kind of follows the same route as this pipe. But the one I'm going to replace it with is this one here, which comes down, follows round and plugs into the engine there. So I'm going to have the new one, all routed properly and ready to swap over, because obviously when I pull that one out, you see it there, when I unplug that one, obviously there's some coolant's going to come out, so I'm just going to have that one ready to go and swap it right in. And interestingly, along this path where the other cable goes, pipe goes, there's clips there already free that you can use for this. So I'm not sure why they're there already, or they were some other purpose intended, but it's handy for us because we can run that one in first. I can swap these ends over and then do this one quickly, so I don't lose too much coolant. Obviously that's a plan, but whether it works or not, I don't know. Probably lose some. And these clips are quite easy to pull off. You just squeeze them in and then you can just push the new one in. But I'm just going to route it properly into those clips first. Okay, so this is the new one, so we can plug it in. Just see these clips, just push it in. Then it tucks behind this water bottle. Comes down here. Some clips. Push it into the clip. And then it follows round, following the path of the other pipe. That. Then fits into, you can see the markings there where it goes into this one, so I'll pull this one out, which is the existing one, which goes to this bracket that breaks, that's above the turbo. So it is routing it slightly differently, but we can use that clip there, so it's all nicely in there, just ready to swap that one over now. And then that's the first cable pipe put in. So I've routed the new cable in, and I've got it just sitting, this is the new one sitting just there, and this is the one I'm going to pull out here. So obviously coolant's going to come out, so I'm going to try and, the plan is to get quickly pull the old one out and then put the new one in. Let's give it a go. Right. Get the old one off. There we go. That's a new one. The old one is nowhere to be seen. There it is. Okay, I heard that click in, so that's in properly. So we lost a little bit of fluid, not too much. So you need to make sure that's in properly. There we go. So now I'm going to take off the bigger pipe that runs from here down to here. So this one has got another clip on it, which is going to be a bit of a pain to get to. And also I need to take this off. So the new one, the top pipe, runs. So we've got the main connector here, which connects them down there. So we need to route this one the same way as the other one that goes down to the bottom of the turbo. So this one that we've swapped out here goes to the top of the turbo, and this sort of feeder that goes off to the engine, which we just replaced. So this can all come out now. So I'm going to unplug this one and get rid of this old pipe. So I'm just going to remove this, the last bit of this top pipe, which goes to the top of the turbo. It's not very elegant, but at least it's got it out of the way. There we go. Okay, so that's that top pipe off. Oh, no way, I put the old one back in. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, let's swap that over again. I pulled the old cable out and then put the old cable back in, like a plonker. Okay, so that's that top one out altogether. Now we need to, so this is loose already, just squeeze them together. I'm going to pry that off. All the liquid came out when I swapped the one into the engine, so no mess there. So then it's just going to be putting this one back in, routing this in the same path that this one's taking. And the top one just literally comes out over the top where the old one was and goes on the top of the turbo outlet. So let's give that a go. So I'm just going to give this a bit of a pry. The clip's loose, but pry with a screwdriver to. So it's been on there for a while. Just needs a bit of help. It's worth noting the notch out of the rubber hose there lines up with this plastic, and when we put the new one in, I'll have to line up with that. To get the other end of that off now, which is going to be interesting. See just here, so there's a clip. I need to get the pliers on underneath there. So I'm really struggling to get at that bottom clip, which is kind of down there. Just see the side of it. This cable, this pipe going into the bottom of the turbo. And I think even if I got it off, I think I'm going to struggle to get the new clip on. It's like right up against that cable, that pipe. So I might try and get this pipe off and get it out of the way. Hopefully it won't drain out too much coolant. So that pipe came off pretty easy. I just squeezed the clip together with the pliers and just pushed gently down around the edge of the pipe with the flathead screwdriver, and it just popped off. So I'm just going to try and get this out of the way without it draining too much. As you can see, there's some liquid. So after unclipping the cable, unclipping this pipe, so obviously there's a lot of coolant comes out. So to sort of save it and so it's not making a huge mess, I just pushed it back on it. So to swap it over, I'm going to run the new one so I can just swap them over quickly. I think that, so then the tricky bit is just going to be releasing this clip in position, but it shouldn't be too bad now. This pipe that's really close to it is out of the way. So there's a clip holding this, clipping onto here and to this silver pipe. So I'm just going to move it out of the way for the minute and route. So this pipe is the only one left in. That is the one I still need to get it out. You see it down there. So at the moment it's just loosely on there because the coolant's all gushing out when I take it off. So I was looking at running the other cable pipe alongside it, but there's not enough room. So I think probably the best way, if you're going to try and stop all the coolant coming out, is probably, unless you've got another pipe or something to bung it up, I think what I'm going to do is just pull the pipe out really quickly and then just poke it back down through here to block it up while I route the new cable in. So I'll still lose a bit of coolant, but hopefully not too much. Right, so that was mildly unsuccessful, but I think it's because I've done it 2 or 3 times. So if you had loosened the pipe at the bottom down here, and then straight away once you'd unclipped it, so there's a clip here on the pipe that connects to the silver pipe down there, so unclip that so you're ready, and then pull the pipe out quickly out towards the reservoir, and then put the end of the pipe back down here over the outlet again to sort of just stop the flow. You probably would save most of the coolant. So I didn't, because I tried a few different things, but still it's just a way of wasting a load of coolant. So now I can run the new pipe back down the path this was in, and then just quickly swap over the end once I'm ready. So the one thing to watch out for is this clip. It'll be a pain. You can't really get it off in situ because it's got this odd connection, so I think you just need to unclip it with a screwdriver. Right. Oops, I've broken it, damn. Okay, anyway, so don't do that. It's to be gentle with it. It's still a oh no, that's how it's supposed to work. Oh right, okay. Take 2. So the clip works by just clipping onto that. Don't know if you can see that. Clipping in there, and then it just holds that closed there. So that bit does come off. But anyway, so you probably get that off once it's out like I have, and put it on the new cable. Right, so now I'm taking the new tube. So the thicker one goes, you have to thread it back through where the other one was. So it's a bit tight doing it with these turbo pipes in. So a few other people on YouTube have taken these out, but I think they're quite a pain to take out because they're kind of tacked in and they've got the Jubilee clips and it's quite tight. And there's 2 of them, so I'm trying to do it without doing that. So I've got quite slim hands and wrists, so I can get my hand down to route it through, but if you can't, you might have to take these turbo pipes off. There we go, so that can go back on there. Top pipe can come across and reconnect to the turbo outlet. Yeah, so that the top of that pipe just comes across the top. Yeah, and just push that back down on there. I'll do the clip in a bit. So this is the old pipe that's still in the way. We'll leave that there for the minute. So I've routed the other side of the pipe back down through there. And I should be able to pick it up from the other side down here. Okay, so we've got the old pipe just sitting temporarily, just poking out of the, routed out of the top of the engine there, just to stop the coolant flowing out, and I've got the new pipe routed in, so I'm just going to pull this one out and put the new one in its place. Oh, it's there. There we go. So I'm just going to put this the new cable onto the bottom. Just need to make sure this ridge in the pipe lines up with the ridge on the plastic. There we go. So then we just need to release this clip. Right, so now we just need to, so we've got that on there nice and tight, and the little ridge is lined up with the plastic ridge. So we just need to release this clip and we're good. There. So it's just moved around a little bit. So I'm just going to take the pressure off, and just when it released, it kind of turned the pipe around so it wasn't lined up. It's better, it's lined up now, so that bit's done. So the only bit left to do is the turbo pipe just needs the clip sealing, and there's the pipe underneath which is now on, but I need to just release the clip. So see if I can do that with the pliers. So it's just down here, you can't see it, but basically the pipe's on, and I just need to release the clips. So I'm just going to do that now. There we go. So you release them just by squeezing the two sides together, and then it just pops on. You just want to make sure the pipe is all the way in before you release them. So then I had to loosen off this pipe, which is into the turbo, just to get it out of the way of the clip. So you can see the clip's now on. So that other end of the pipe is now seated in properly. And so I just need to put this back on. So squeeze those in and just push it back up. And release the clip on the turbo outlet, which is nice and tight. The pipe's nice and tight into the bottom there. Then we are good. We just need to top it up with water, run the engine a little bit, and then top it up again, making sure the water's staying up to the max each time. Right, so just going to put this, the other side, I guess it's the inlet to the turbo, back on. Just squeeze the clips together. And oops. There we go. So that's nicely tight up against there. Release the clips. Yep, that's all on. Release this one. Oops. There we go. So that's released and on there. So just check this one. Give it a good tug. Make sure it's on there properly. Yep. that one's on there properly. Yep, so we've just come over. So we've checked the bottom one's in properly, the one we removed to make room's in properly, and the new top pipe's in properly. There's the one down here, make sure that's in, and the clips are in, which they are. And finally the main one on here, and this one, they're all in. Just need to get that clip back in on there, then we're good. So top this up, and obviously we need to let it drain back into the engine because we've lost quite a bit of the coolant. Okay, so the all the pipes, I've checked all the pipes, they all seem tight and in place, so I'm going to fill it up. I've lost quite a bit of coolant because I've been testing various things, so I'll probably need more than the 5 litres. Evidently the 1 litre EcoBoost takes 5.8 litres, so I've got another one, 2 litres. So I'm just going to fill it up to the max level and just top it up while the engine runs. Then I'll put the lid back on and run it till it hits temperature and see how we're going. Hopefully there's no leaks. Yeah, that'll do. Just getting up to the minimum. And there we go at max. Getting a few bubbles coming up, so I'll leave it for a sec. Okay, so we'll run the car. Staying around the max, you can see the water coming in from the turbo in that. Everything seems dry. Going down a little bit. So I'm just going to put the cap back on and then let the car warm up. Make sure that's on nice and tight. Still above the minimum. Okay, I think that's pretty much. So I'm going to run it for a bit and then top it back up to max. And then just have a look to make sure there's no leaks. I think we are good. So now we've got the new degas pipes in place, so the joints here well out of the way of the engine, and it's much more substantial, and the pipe comes across over the turbo where it's this proper thick rubber all the way into the top of the turbo. So it negates the problem you get with the old style pipe with the brittle connector here. So we don't have that anymore where this breaks and we lose all the water. So hopefully, as we're approaching 60,000 miles on it, which is the mileage where the problem starts to occur, we should be pretty safe. And thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I'll put the parts that I've used in the comments as well. Thanks for watching.